4 years after resigning as governor of New York amid scandal, Andrew Cuomo is back jumping into the political arena to take on frontrunner Zohran Mamdani in the New York mayoral race, a race the White House is keeping a close eye on. Please welcome, I don't know why they're watching us. Please welcome Andrew Cuomo. Joy's got the first question.
I do have the first question. So, you entered the race earlier
First of all, welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. A little
Very
things.
hospitable here.
So, yes, welcome. So you entered the race earlier this year with every advantage. You did. You have experience, you have name ID, you have money. You had a very good record as governor. I'll just name some of the things he accomplished so that we can ask the question at the end. The $15 minimum wage, you did that, you made that happen. Paid family leave, same-sex marriage.
Yes.
Rebuilt LaGuardia Airport. That was a mess. Thank you.
That's big.
And you opened the 2nd Avenue subway. Okay, that's a good list. And and also you were there during the pandemic for all of us. I felt
providing a lot of information.
we at home were very lonely, and there you are. But you were defeated in the primary by a virtually unknown 33-year-old Democratic socialist, and who had no experience doing any governing at all. Now you're running as an independent. Why aren't you doing better? He's beating you by double digits in recent polls.
Yeah. Good question. And again, thank you for having me. In the primary, there were 9 candidates.
Yeah.
Seemed like every day there was a new candidate got into the race. I did not run the best campaign I should have run in the primary.
Why? What did you do wrong?
He focused very well, frankly, on younger people, 20 to 30 years old. He was very good on social media. I had a social media operation, was not as good as his. And he really targeted them, and they really turned out to vote, which is a good thing, right? We've always wanted to get more turnout among younger people.
Right.
And that was the disproportionate vote in the primary, were those 20 to 30-year-olds, and they supported him. General is a totally different story. It's a bigger universe. It's more moderate Democrats. It's Republicans. It's independents. More people from the outer boroughs vote.
But I think they see, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think they see him as something new and fresh, and they seeing you as the old school. And that has entered into the situation. I was talking to my son-in-law about it. It's like, oh, them again? You don't like that?
Yeah. You don't think I'm new and fresh?
Well, in this vein, so
I get it, no.
if current polling were to hold, Mamdani would win. But if it were to hold as it is, he would be the first mayor in recent memory to win without a majority, electing him in the electorate. Now, I'm hearing from a lot of people who are worried that a self-described democratic socialist would be running the economic capital of the world, New York City. So I have to ask you, why are you losing to a democratic socialist?
Yeah, because people don't understand. It is a very good question. And look, in the primary, there were 9 candidates. Nobody really understood who he was and what it means. Even today, it's confusing. He's a democratic socialist. I'm a Democrat. Well, what is the difference there? And it is night and day. What's really happening is there's a civil war within the Democratic Party going on. And the Democratic Party is looking for its identity. And there are 2 factions. You have the Democratic Socialists, and then you have the Democrats, right? I'm a Democrat. My father was a Democrat. I worked for Bill Clinton. He is a Democratic Socialist. He is not a Democrat, right? He called President Obama evil and a liar. He did not support Kamala Harris against Trump because she wasn't progressive enough. They have a very extreme view that they're pursuing, which is different than the Democratic Party.
How do you describe a democratic socialist?
A democratic socialist has a much more extreme platform. They're socialist in terms of economic policy.
Meaning?
Meaning they would they believe government should control the means of production. There should be no private ownership of property.
Isn't that communism more when the government owns everything?
Well, that's why President Trump calls him a communist, but he calls himself a socialist. But just take that, no private ownership of property, right? So the dream of home ownership, you couldn't own your own home.
Well, are you calling him a communist? Because I think what his message that resoundingly resonated with young voters was the issue of affordability. I mean, that outranks crime, that outranks housing, it outranks jobs, because this is the most expensive city to live in the world. So when you're talking about democratic socialism, are you calling him a communist? Because it seems to me that his platform was about affordability.
No, I don't call him a communist. I said President Trump refers to him as a communist. A democratic socialist would be a socialist. You're right, affordability outranks crime, but just barely, especially in this city. Crime is an issue. And the democratic socialists want to defund the police. They want to do away with misdemeanors. They would legalize prostitution, legalize the drug trade, which I think would be anarchy for the city. On affordability, he is right. The city is not affordable. A lot of the young people are complaining about the cost of rents. But his solution doesn't really work. You know, his solution is what, he's got a great slogan, freeze the rent.
Rent stabilization, right.
For rent-stabilized units only, which
Correct.
are only about 25%, 30% of the total units. The remainder, the 75%, he does absolutely nothing for, and they wind up absorbing the increase from the 25, and it's not even a new idea. It was a Bill de Blasio idea that happened 3 times, and we know it didn't work.
I don't mean to take over this interview, but when Mamdani was here, he rejected the fact that he supported defunding the police, and actually he said that he has grown away from that opinion.
Yeah, well, if he's grown, it would have been in the past few weeks.
Though
right?
he did fail to issue an apology to the NYPD. He said he'd individually go up to officers. That would, the commissioner, I would start there if you're going to apologize.
Well, listen, he has a long history of statements, Twitter, etc. The NYPD are wicked and corrupt and racist and anti-queer, he said. He's a member of the DSA. DSA says the police should be defunded to 0. Do away with jails. Do away with misdemeanors. I mean, it is, to me, radical and totally disconnected from reality. Recently, he said, in the general election, I changed my position, which I restated 57 times for the past 10 years, and now I would leave police at the same level. But if you believe that, Sonny, you know, he's saying what he has to say in the moment, which is different than what he said for years.
Okay, I have another question for you. Trump, remember him?
No.
He seems very invested in the outcome here. As Whoopi said, it's New York City, you know, so it's a big deal. The mayor is the second most important job in the country, basically. He seems to be in your corner, coming out very hard against Mamdani, even threatening to withhold federal money from the city if he wins. Now, you said you don't want and wouldn't accept Trump's endorsement. Good for you. But you've accepted a lot of money from his backers. Am I right?
Well, I have backers who also gave money to Trump and other Republicans and other Democrats.
Okay. Now, Mamdani was here last week, and he had this to say about Trump's motives. Let's watch the clip.
He is looking to clear the field for Andrew Cuomo because he knows that Andrew Cuomo would clear the field for Trump's agenda. This is speaking about a former governor who, when he looked at the deployment of the National Guard in California, told New Yorkers, don't overreact. This is a moment where we have to address the administration for what it is, which is authoritarian. It's going to require us to do everything in our power to fight back, not to coordinate like Andrew Cuomo has done, being on the phone with Donald Trump.
How do you answer that?
He has a problem with the truth, that young man. I was not on the phone with Donald Trump. I never said to New Yorkers, don't overreact. President Trump, I am the last person President Trump wants as mayor of New York City, because he dealt with me as governor. New Yorkers watched the movie every day. During COVID, I was the governor, he was the president. We fought on a daily basis. He came with all his threats and all his power and might, threatened to put me in jail, had me investigated twice by the Department of Justice, threatened to cut off federal funds.
So he
if
would
we
like
didn't get...
Mamdani to win.
Mamdani
Yes.
is a gift
does.
for him.
Yeah.
Yes,
Tell us.
A
ahead of
gift.
the midterms, he wants Mamdani to win, 100%.
Yes.
He's not a fan of, I can attest, he's not a fan of yours. Donald Trump is not.
You don't mean that personally.
But let me ask you, Governor, because the New York Times reported that there were 3 sources that said you were on the phone with Trump. If you were on the phone with Trump, what were you talking about?
Yeah, I was not on the phone with Trump. And Alyssa is exactly right. He wants Mamdani, 2 reasons. One, going into the midterms, he will take a picture of Mamdani, run around the country and say, here's what happened to the Democrats. They are now communists, they hate the police, they legalize prostitution, legalize drugs, they want to elect this Democrat, no experience whatsoever. Being mayor of New York would be his first real job, okay?
And that'll send the national troops in because of the crime rate.
Second move, it's good for Donald Trump because it's the excuse he needs to take over New York,
Right.
which he said he will do. He said, if they elect this person, then I, Donald Trump, am going to have to step in, take over New York to protect the good people of New York. That's what's going to happen.
Is that before or after we sue him for fooling around with the election? Because isn't that election interference when somebody says, go this way and I will make sure you get the money? Isn't that interference?
Look, we would have a lawsuit.
Okay,
but
I just
this
want to
guy-
make sure.
yes.
I just want to make sure.